All right, so we did function notation the first day. And the function notation really was just we labeled them, right? F and G and H. And then we figured out if we put something in, we get something out. So we have an input and an output. Yesterday we played the game, right? Everybody liked the game playing. That was easy. It was fun. You had fun. With the little charts and everything, you played a game and it was fun. It was easy. No. So here's what happened. I finished giving the notes. Nobody had any questions, so I was a rock star yesterday. So if you guys had a hard time, whose fault was it? Yours. That's right. Okay. So today what we're going to do is we're going to actually do composition of functions. We're going to, I don't know, I think we're going to multiply and divide today. All right. So you ready? So first of all, we added and subtracted already. So we had the add was the addition between it, and then this was the subtraction. So the little dot in between, what do you think that means? Multiply. It's not the same thing. Yesterday we had this, right? These aren't the same thing, right? The little open circle means f of g of x. This means f times g of x, okay? So the first one, I want to multiply f times g. So if this is my f, and I'm going to multiply it times g. So I'm going to take the x squared times both things in this parenthesis. So x squared times x gives me x to the third. X squared minus 1 is minus x squared. And then 3x times x gives me 3x squared minus 3x. And then the negative 4. So I multiplied this times everything in here. And then how do I find the answer? Combine like terms. Can I combine anything with the x to the third? No. So I'm going to get x to the third. When I combine these two, I get 2x squared. Then I have minus 3x minus 4x is minus 7x plus 4. So all I did is multiply. So what do you think I'm doing on the bottom one? I'm going to divide. So I'm going to take f divided by g. So I'm going to get So I have x squared plus 3x minus 4 over x minus 1. So does the top one factor? So if I did my little t-chart, and I get negative 4 here and 3, do I get 4 and negative 1? I do. So this is going to be so now what can happen? I can cancel, and I just get x plus 4. How many of you remember how to factor? Honestly, you remember? 2, 3? Don't roll your eyes back there. I can hit you with something from up here. I have good aim, and there's like hardly anybody between us, so I would only have the chance of hitting 1 or 2 people. All right. I'm having fun. I don't know if you're having fun. Except I am starving. I am starving. All right, everybody multiply and divide the next. Go. I'm going to take an eating break. I went to a training during fourth period. Here, sweetie. Oh, I am recording still. Hang on. Okay, how many of you got this? You got it? Yes or no? No? Yes or no? Yep. Tell me where. I know why. You know why? So did you get it started right? And did you multiply wrong? Did you miss an exponent or no? So what was your mistake, baby? I don't know your name, I'm sorry. You missed the distribution. Did you guys get it right? Yes or no? Yes? Clayton, you got it? Where'd you mess up? Okay. Did you figure it out? No, I'm still trying to. So look down your list and see if your list matches mine. Okay, so you have the -9 and the -2, right? And so then that's where the -11 came from. Okay. All right, so how about the division? How do we do on the division? Okay, so here's my division, right? So let me ask you something. On the top, can I factor the top? Because A times C is 15 and B is -1. So it doesn't factor, so we can't cancel anything, so that is your answer. You just leave it just like that. Okay. So number 4. So number 4, it's the open circle, right? So this is the one where we're doing f of g of x, right? That's what they're the same thing. So in my f function, so the outside function, right? So this one, where I see an x, I'm going to replace it with my g function. So listen to that again. Do you see how this is written? The f is on the outside. So I'm going to take my g function, this one right here. This is your x now. You see how it's in the parentheses? I'm going to take this, and where I see an x over here, I'm just going to replace it. So I'm going to take 2 times -5x minus 1 plus 7. I just took this and plopped it down for the x. Does everybody see that? Right. And so I'm going to distribute. So I have -10x plus 5. So what do you think is going to happen this time on this side now? The opposite, right? So this time, the g is on the outside, so that means I'm going to put parentheses around the f, and where I see the x in the g, I'm going to plop it down. So does that make sense? You're going to take this and put it in for x. So this time I get negative 5 times 2x plus 7 minus 1. So I get negative 10x minus 35 minus 1 . So yes? Yes? Okay. Okay, so try it on number 5. So watch. This time I'm going to take the g and put it in for x squared. And you have to put parentheses around it before we put it in, right? And it's going to go in for x. So this is what I get. So what is negative 4 squared? 16. And what is x squared raised to the second power? X to the fourth, because you multiply exponents, so you get x to the fourth. And we're going to do this backwards now. So this time I'm going to take okay, what am I doing this time? Very good. Okay, so how many of you wrote this? How many of you got this far at least? So now what do I do? So before I distribute, though, that's multiplying. We have to do the exponent before we distribute. So we're going to do this. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh. So what's x squared times x squared? X to the fourth. But I still have this in front, right? So I'm going to have x to the fourth. And then minus x squared minus another x squared, and then plus 1. So then when I combine like terms, now you can distribute. And so I heard somebody ask where I got these numbers. So what I took x times x, and I got x to the fourth. And then I took x squared times minus 1, and that gives me minus x squared. And I multiplied this and got minus x squared, and then plus 1. Where? Yes. Thank you. It is a plus. Remember when we talked about I cannot add, subtract, multiply, and divide? This is what I'm talking about. Okay. So what's this? So this is what we did before, right? So I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to put 2 in for h. So h of 2 is going to be 3 times 2 squared. You have to do the exponent before you can multiply. So the exponent is 2 squared. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So h of 2 is 12. Once I get 12, I have to put that back in for my g. So my answer is 18. So which one do I start on with number 7? G. So I'm going to have g of negative 8 is going to be negative 8 plus 6. So g of negative 8 is 2. And what do I do with the 2 now? Put it in h. Negative 2 squared is 4. 4 times 3 is 12.